Firewire, for example, I completely agree with you. Absolute shithouse. They've just released a board called the Long Ranger or something. Pile of shit.
Good evening, internauts, extranauts, audionauts, podcast nauts. 5th of November. Matthew Hayes in the light, myself in the dark. I think we've both realised collectively that despite the fact there's no world tours going on, that surfing is still flourishing. And I had a week away from the surf, Matt. I think it was the best thing I've done for myself all year.
That is incredible to hear. Where did you go?
We went across the other side of the France. I've never been there before. To this massive inland lake. Oh, it's not that massive. It's pretty big. Verdun, and we went up and checked out these massive gorges. And then we did a night in Saint-Tropez. Ooh la
Oh,
la.
ooh la la.
What what a beautiful place. I mean, you can understand why for millennia the French Riviera it's just beautiful and very dry, which is was a great relief from here.
Yeah, yeah, you've copped it down your way with a bit of bad weather, and
At the
Saint-Tropez, like
mo
you say, is just yeah,
It's just sensational, but I'm telling you, there's some complete tosses, as you can imagine. It's it just you can pretty well pick who's who's an extreme tourist looking to be seen in with wealthy clothes and cars and fake tans and fake lips and all that sort of stuff.
yeah. But that's, I mean, it's really good that I think sometimes getting away from the surf and just having a break, the best thing it does is actually then when you come back, you're like your levels of froth and excitement are back up.
Yeah. It's taken me a couple of days yet. It's kind of been flat and good weather, which was sensational. If you've never been to Hoscore, listeners, it's a pretty intense location to come to. Think twice about coming here. I'm not saying that to try and scare you away so that I can keep any ways to myself. It's just an intensely crowded arena of frothers with radical tides and heaps of swell, and it's super hard to score. And it's just one of the most frustrating places in the world. I got
It's
fucking
funny how this sounds
flogged within a second of my life last week, just 2 hours before I drove away from the place.
yeah. Hoshiguro I always find is a bit um like the chasing the dragon. Like you'll never, or not never, especially because you live there, but when you're traveling there, you'll see photos of it every now and again where it's like pure perfection, but it's very rarely like that. And you spend more time chasing that than you ever, I've been to Osaka like a lot of times now, and it's not like easy at all.
It's not
Uh,
easy to score when you live here, I'm telling you, especially
yeah,
for people that have got normal jobs.
for sure.
But anyway, I don't want to bitch too much about that. I just think it was sensational to get away. What I wanted to bitch about was I just feel so sorry for these people that do nothing with their day on holidays except getting dressed up and going to lunch at a restaurant. I just can't get it. I
Mm,
can't get my head around it, Matt. I just find it
yeah.
so meaningless to waste your life doing that.
But then it's such a strange thing, isn't it? Because some people's like everything is food. Like there's food people who will be they would have been researching for like months or years to be at that certain restaurant to have that certain meal or and
Yep.
that's their big event. So I completely get it for you. Like there's certain things that I see people doing. I'm like, I don't understand you. Like I don't understand people who get excited about gaming. I like that's just me personally. I can't understand it. I don't get it.
Neither do I. I'm
And
not a gamer either. It's never going
but
to be the insiders gaming episode.
no, but I understand that those people probably think that I'm really weird because I would get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and put on a 5 mil hooded wetsuit with boots and gloves and paddle out when the outside temperature's 5 degrees just to go in the sea. Like that is actually crazy to more people than gaming is or having lunch at a restaurant all dressed up is, which I think is really cool. Like I love that because I love how one person's
It's not, surfers tend to think they're really unique in that way, but I've got a brother-in-law that will wake up at 4 in the morning, have to put on a full outfit of heavy winter gear and go up 2,000 meters chasing a a bird that can see 360 degrees vision to hunt it. And like, I'm talking like -10. And like, I haven't been up there for years when he was doing that, but I used to hear him get up and just think, fuck, that's extreme, man. But it's like us going surfing, is obviously. But there are lots of crew doing that. Hey, do you follow Red Bull Bike? Sorry to bring that up randomly.
um I think so.
You
Yeah.
should. I'll follow it for us on the inside scene. They're just absolutely fucking nuts. I think it's one of the best things I follow. That and Killian Jornet. But man, this dude just a couple of days ago is going down. I don't even know what it is, whether it's a bobsled thing. It's got these cement like protecting posts, like in case the bobsled goes around this berm to stop it from flipping out of the thing. And he's on a bike going down there in summer. And I'm like, if you copped one of them in the head, like downhill, it must
Yeah.
have been. Yeah, yeah, it was. It was a bobsled thing.
Did you see the thing they done on the train? That was so sick. There's
No,
like a moving train that's got these jumps on the back of it. If you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you.
no way.
And
Send it to me.
it's crazy. Like it almost looks like the guy on the bike is not moving, and the train's moving under him, and he's just doing all these jumps. It's psycho, like in a good way. Um, they do some cool shit, Red Bull.
They did their big competition in the desert a few weeks ago. That was pretty radical.
Yeah,
Guys doing an inverted flip over canyons, landing on a berm, and then straight into the next thing. Anyway, well, let's get back to surfing. Heaps going on. Heaps going on. I just, well, it's fresh in my mind. So you gave me some homework to do because I half watched what's it called? Something Dragon, isn't it? Stephanie
laser breathing dragons.
Laser Breathing Dragons. Is that the most eclectic and commercial surf trio in history? Stephanie Gilmore, Mason Ho, Tom Curren.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's the exact reason why Ripco probably went pretty hard to get Steph back. Um, and
Sensational, wasn't it? Just
it's
sensational.
so good. I've watched
It's
it so
like
many
she,
times.
it's like she never left.
I think that's some of the best surfing I've seen Mason Ho do as well, because I actually think he's just surfing in it, and I thought he surfed really, really cool, like and
Oh,
really
yeah.
well. Um,
He's absolutely incredible. His technical levels, I mean, he mucks around. He's a bit of a court jester, blah, 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 whatever you want to say, with his extreme ways. But the technical capacity of that guy is just world champ level.
yeah, I think Steph's section on the pickle fork is. phenomenal.
ridiculous.
And I think her opening section, the angles and the way it's shot is crazy good. Obviously Tom Curren was ridiculously good as well. Um, my only question for you, because I thought you was going to bring this up, but you haven't over message yet. The acting in it.
Oh
I
well, they're surfers. They'll never be actors. But it was
that's
pretty
what I
fun.
mean.
It was pretty funny with his soup thing. He nearly looks like he's telling the truth. He's not bad, old Tom.
Nearly. I know a few people who have been like, "Oh, just don't get him to act, just surf," and I can understand why. But I also think it's probably a bit of the Vaughan Blakey, Nick Paulette
Oh,
kind of DNA that has to run through it as well.
have a bit of fun. Have a bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'd rather see him do that than like working out in the gym and hydrating and whatever.
Yeah. I thought it was quite cool though, because so the day that Rip Curl dropped this edit, um, it reminded me, I'll get back to what I was about to say. It reminded me of in the music world, you won't have Adele drop an album the same day or week as Taylor Swift, or you won't have like two big guns. Like they'll know who's dropping what album when, so they'll like avoid each other. And then on the same day, Rip Curl dropped this. Mikey February dropped his Spearhead edit, which I think is unbelievably good.
Yeah, I did watch that by the way. Geez, he can get some good backhand barrels. Or maybe I've got to rewatch it. Maybe I just saw a couple of clips
No, you saw
on his
good. Yeah,
Instagram.
his like him going backside, you don't see a lot of, and people tend to say that you can't go backside on a 20, and he does both of them in this film very, very well. There's rights in there as well. It, I won't lie, it made me want to order the board, and I know that I can't do that shit. Like I know that
Sorry, Matt, I just blew you away because I was trying to skip. Let me just. Oh, sorry, Matt. I was trying to look at Mikey February. What did you say he called it? It's
spearhead,
spearfish. Spearfish.
spearfish. Sorry. Um,
So all our listeners can watch that too. He is one of the most stylish surfers on the planet, isn't he?
he is 100%, and like I hope for him and for everything that's gone into it, I hope that everyone feels exactly like I did, which was I need one of those surfboards, and they go and order them because that will obviously be great for him. Um, I caught myself halfway and was like, Matt, you can't surf like Mikey Feb. Looked at the dims of the board and it'd have to be pretty short in length. And then realized I also have another board on order
Oh,
that's
do
on
you
the
reckon
way.
that? Do you reckon they paid? There was a bit of paid advertising on the old Rip Curl one. So Laser Breathing Dragons has got 738K views, and Spearfish we're looking at 164. Oh, it kind of makes sense. I mean, like if you multiply Steph, Tom, and Mason, that's three times the
Yeah.
power. And if they're at five times, they're nearly at five times the views.
Plus Rip Curl themselves as
They
well.
really would have given that a massive push as opposed to the CI surfboards. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have put as much money into Rip Curl. They would have done a across the board media presentation with Instagram, TikTok, the whole lot, wouldn't they have?
I agree fully. But when you actually look at it, I think that Mikey Febb's edit will probably sell more surfboards than the Rip Curl edit will sell Rip Curl
I
wetsuits.
don't know. It looks like Steph, she was in a few lewd outfits, huh? Very body hugging
She has just dropped a Rip Curl collection. Um,
one pieces.
yeah, t-shirts, shorts, one pieces, pretty stylish, really, really cool stuff. I mean, Rip Curl will always do sick stuff.
Is there a female surfer on tour that could have taken her out on the pickle fork there?
Um, in the same way. Probably no, 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 definitely not.
I don't think Katie's got the firepower yet to be able to take her out in
Not
in perfect rights like
nah,
that.
not in a
I think
perfect
she
like that. No,
I think
definitely.
she can take her in the left, which made me think, is there any reason whatsoever for Steph to come back on tour next year, knowing that it finishes in Fiji?
Um, no, not like unless she just wants to be on tour for herself.
I'd, I'd be disappointed honestly, I'll be disappointed in her if she comes back next year.
Mm. I personally I wouldn't because I've heard her speak how much about she just loves competing, but like I can. I would be a bit disappointed if she came back on tour and didn't ride the pickle fork or similar boards, like ride a 20 at Snapper or at the board.
Tom Curren did that and won
Yeah.
world.
So
He used to
uh,
ride fishers and all sorts of stuff.
yeah. But if I saw an announcement today saying she's not coming back next year, I'd be excited because I feel like she's going to do better free surfing than she will tour surfing. So
I'd heard a rumor at the time, switching back to Michael February, that when Vans were axing people, he flew immediately back from Europe to California to try and make sure that he got his contract renewed.
really, I mean.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I think it would be a very odd situation. I think everyone in the surf world and maybe wider would scratch their head if they heard that Vans have dropped Mikey Feb.
I think he'd pick up another sponsor.
Oh my God, there'd be a war. Like I think there'd be a
In the current environment, is there money for them to make a war?
100%.
You
Money's
think
coming
there
back.
would be. There's
Money's
there's
coming back.
heaps there's heaps of companies too.
Yeah.
There's what do you call them? Startups. There's all the new brands.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's talks that Baron Mamir is about to get a six-figure contract.
With who? Isn't he Ruka?
He's with Ruka. Apparently, they want to keep him on, and then there's sniffing. Apparently, there's sniffings about from like Tenore and a couple of others. But there's rumors that he requested a six-figure contract. So we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. He's pretty good, old Baron.
But
His
yeah,
I thought his edit was absolutely mind-boggling.
I thought it's I thought it's incredible. I went back and watched it. I still
I
think
think
she
it's a
must
I
be.
think it's the most hardcore performance that I've seen this year. Different sort of thing to
Yeah,
Mikey February vid and
I
the
agree.
Ripco one. Probably less personality, but he's just an absolute animal. He reminds me of Michel Borez.
Yeah, it that and the Kale Walsh edit that I saw in France were the two that I was like, they're hardcore. Like this is like real core. I personally prefer the Steph, like the Rip Curl edit and the Mikey Feb stuff because I like that surfing a little bit more. But yeah, geez, the Baron one is incredible. Um, Talking about other things we've watched, this is off the cuff. I didn't put this on the homework list, so I might catch you off guard. Have you watched episode 3 of the electric acid surfboard test with Dave Rastovich?
I certainly have, Matthew.
Ah,
I
very
woke
good.
up in the middle of the night after coming back from Saint-Tropez. And what's interesting is the Fipsy board I've got, I tell you, is flax. I think
Yeah.
it's flax bottom, isn't it? The brown bottom
Yeah, flex
on
bottom,
that
yeah.
epoxy thing. The deck doesn't feel that strong. I've got big foot stumps on the back foot. I've surfed it under 10 times. The board goes pretty good. And I really wanted to surf it as a 20 since I've had it. I never have. And I have got these S wings,
Yeah.
S wings fins. Tom Curren uses them sometimes. Bring mine, Shabby Lafitte, incredible fin, twins. And it just so happens the day before I left to go on holidays with the family, I've been looking to get a small center box, right? Small fin.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to surf it as a straight twin because it's not even twin um, fin box
Position.
placements.
Yeah.
And I found a True Aim's 3.5 inch
Winner.
huh? Winner with a box, and he gave me a deal on it. The guy at Seabase, thanks Marco, $50. Oh, I've spent some money on fins this year, I'm telling you. Anyway, I surfed it today. It was a bit small, but all that was to say, I did all that, bought all this stuff, and then that episode drops, and it's an incredible episode with Rasta talking with Vince from Future Fins about all that, and I was already thinking about that because you've heard me say all these times how much I hate twins. So it shows how on the pulse they are to mind read me and then put it in their episode.
I'm sure that Vince just listens to the insiders like for years and
He's
has like
gonna. I sent him a message. We got to get him on.
he'll come on. I thought that that episode was incredible though, and in a way I felt like it was a little bit unfair, but in a good way as such, because he looked incredible on the board that Dane Reynolds shaped him, the sperm whale. He looked so good on that thing, and then he rode it and was like, "Yeah, I love it. I get on with it already. I'm clicking with it, so it's not going through." I was like, "That's a bit out of order," but
That
the
was a
whole
bit weird.
episode was the whole episode was so good. I thought Neil Purchase Jr. was really cool
Was
insights.
it? Was it also weird that did Dane refuse to be interviewed for this? You think?
I was about to ask that, um, because not everyone's been interviewed, so. I think I don't know how they must have set it up because um, Ryan Lovelace hasn't been interviewed in any of it, and his board's come out and gone back.
He's
Um,
quite reclusive.
obviously, the I'm going to butcher his name here, but the guy who shaped,
Fletcher Tuna,
yeah, Fletcher, yeah, he hasn't made an appearance yet.
son of
Um,
Patagonia.
yeah, um, I I never clocked that until today. Really weird until today. That I was reading something and I was like, oh no way, that's his dad. Um, so I don't think Dane refused. I just think they've picked who they want to speak to and who not, I guess. Um, but I don't know about you, but I was frothing when I saw Torren Martin turn up in the episode.
Oh yeah, and sharpen. I had this thought in my head. I've got to spit it out quickly because then I forgot it for a day. That I was like, I'm going to say that to Matt following our little discussion a few episodes ago about Coco Ho's surfboard brand, which is why I brought it up to start with. I just think it would be so funny, for example, for them to use one of her boards in the episode, and then for us to say, "Hey, Coco, why did you shape it like that?" Ah, I don't actually shape it. It's my brand, but I don't shape it.
Mm.
Or Josh, which is what I'm really a little bit disappointed at the moment in the surfboard world is how homogenized it's become, where it's turning into moving away from the shapers who were craftsmen and actually have a little bit of manual input
Mm.
and visions to personality based brands.
I think I understand your point fully. I don't necessarily agree. I mean, on the stab thing, for example, they interviewed Avalon Starrick and they introduced it as Avalon Starrick for Coco, Exo Coco, which is cool. Um, I'm not 100% because, like, obviously, like, for example, Christian shaped for CI for years and years and years. So it had CI's name on it, but Christian was shaping it, and this has got Coco's name on it. But actually, everyone knows that Matt Parker or Avalon in Australia is shaping them. Um, so it's less hidden than, like for example, Paizel worldwide is licensed out, right? So
Yeah, because it's oh Lost
It's
the word.
yeah,
It's come.
CNC.
It'll come back. No, no, I've got the word where things just get globalized, where it's just brands is no longer personalized. Uh, there's
But yeah, but then Paizo only release
a
board.
word in the English vocabulary for that.
Yeah, there is. Paizo only releases boards after he's been through and designed it with, like, say, for example, with John or with himself and his team. The same as like EXO Coco. Coco and Matt have designed those boards and then released them. So she is working with a shaper and then releasing the boards under her name. Um, so like I say, I agree. I understand your point and I do see your point. I do think there's a flip side to it as well. Um, I guess it depends on once you get to a certain size, you have to make that decision. Uh,
Well, I just think it's just like buying a product from Donald Trump's daughter, one of her fashion products. Of course, it happens. It happens across the board in product all around the world. I just think it's a pity that it's entered the surfboard realm, which used to be sacrilegious for all our surfers, and now it's just a name branded piece of homogenous shit. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, I think that's a bit of a strong take on it because I still think that Coco and Matt wouldn't release a board without putting quite a lot of work into,
I'm
um,
not saying Coco and Matt. I'm just
or not
saying
them, but like,
generally.
yeah, there's certain other brands, Firewire, for example. I completely agree with you. Absolute shithouse. They've just released a board called the Long Ranger or something. Pile of shit. I've seen it compared to the One Bad Egg. Off your head. Don't anyone ever say that to me again. I'll fucking come and hunt you down. Um,
The what?
I think it's called the Long Rider. It's fucking awful. It looks horrendous. Um, and then they've just released a board called with Tomo called the Revo Max, which is meant to be a mini mid-length twin fin, and at 6.0 it's 31 liters, but at 7.0 it's
People,
51 liters.
people are looking for ideas. There's
And
so many strange things out there that they've just got to keep up coming up
the
with
Long
stuff.
Rider is
That's
called,
called commercialization.
but that is exactly your point. Is there's people out there like those. Face us. Ask anyone who shaped or designed their firewire. Like, I'm sorry I've said it a million and one times, but Kelly rides PU boards
Look,
99.
people, go back. Just I'm saying, find even if it's just a brand that you can believe in, but
Yeah,
don't be a
I,
sheep.
I agree.
Anyway, we're going to switch off to that. I wanted to bring up because I think it's was super interesting. He's a very polarizing figure. See, I remember that adjective.
That's a
Uh,
good one.
uh, Joel Tudor,
Mm.
uh, mega polarizing thing. But Tosh Tudor, nepotism. Here we go again. Like Fletcher Chouinard, son of. Obviously, they get plenty of chances. I saw a whole bunch of people ripping into him somehow, saying, he wouldn't be who he is without his father. But I just thought that was incredible. There's a video of them two in Desert Point, Indonesia. And geez, I would love to do a trip with my son and be able to get parrot like that. I think as a surfer and a father, that's nearly the epitome of best week of your life. And I just thought it was refreshing to watch it. That's why I liked it. And on top of that, he's actually a ball-tearingly incredible tube rider,
Yeah,
and
and
he's getting better.
Tosh is very, very good as well.
No,
Uh,
that's what I mean. Tosh.
oh yeah,
I think Tosh is a better tube rider than his dad.
and he rides cool boards. Like I'm on the train with that. I think he rides cool boards. I think he surfs with a good style. He's completely on his own frequency in terms of, he's not entering comps. He's not trying to vlog. He's not trying to do any of that shit. He's on his own level, which I think is super intriguing and definitely piques my interest. Um,
And coincidentally and independently, I went to the swimming pool near the beach at Cabreton the other night, and this friend of mine who is Volcom Europe events kind of coordinator and everything, and he helped William and Lottie
Yeah.
set up this twin. And he told me, like, I didn't even say anything to him. He said, "Geez, that Tosh Tudor got barreled everywhere, incredible on rights," and he was mega impressed with him. So there you go.
That's really weird because I also spoke to someone who was at the William A. Lotti event, and they said it was the first time they'd ever met Tosh Tudor, and he was one of the nicest people they've met as well, out of the water.
Well, there you go. This is a jump on the Tosh bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's Soup Man is an incredible sequence. It's probably one of the best waves in the world for a goofy footer desert point. They say it can be a bit ridiculously intense and crowded and everything, but I just think that father-son thing is pretty unreal. And I'd like to see some mother-daughter surf duo. I got.
True.
It's going to give me a week to come up and think of it. I don't know. There's got to be some female pro surfer that's daughter. We see a lot with men. There's got to be out there ex-female pro surfer whose daughter's a ripper.
Mm. Yeah. Um, I'm not sure, but
Well, there you go. Never am I. So let's research it.
yeah, we'll have to find it out. The other thing that I watched today, definitely not on your homework list, kind of expected you to watch it, but probably not. Nathan Florence and Ivan Florence released this clip of surfing this wave in Ireland, no, in Scotland.
Of course, I saw it, bro.
That
I'm a YouTube wanderer.
that to me
The
was like,
in Ireland,
I think it's in Scotland.
the left or the right?
It's like some horrible slab.
The right, yeah, and he does get a couple, doesn't he?
He gets a couple
Ivan.
when Ivan gets washed over the rocks, and there's this like, there's this clip where Ivan's running on the rock, and then suddenly he just drops down a hole.
Yeah, saw that.
Um,
That was ridiculous, huh?
I'm not sure if they're okay mentally because,
Well, you
like,
saw. Did you see him surf the cave in Portugal?
yeah, that's
At least he didn't get away. That was radical. I was thinking, is he going to catch one?
that was hot. Like I, there's literally a shelf of rock that's appearing as you're going along that
It's
wave,
it's
and
a death wish
it's
unless you're very skillful.
I can't imagine like. I can't even imagine filming that. Like filming your mate do that must be like the guy on the camera, his heart rate must be like 150.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hey, look, they're doing it on Red Bull bikes, so the surfer guys have got to do it too. Huh?
Yeah. I've sent you that thing, by the way, the clip of the
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I mean, I used to be so heavily impressed by what we're doing in surfing with the Nazare and everything, which thankfully we don't see much of anymore at the moment, anyway. But thanks to Instagram, which I also hate, it has got really good capacity to show you
actually,
other sports that are extreme.
yeah,
Do
you
you
just
follow
reminded me though.
Do you follow Killian? Um, I forgot it again. That's Alzheimer's. The mountain runner. He runs
I don't.
mountains.
I don't
Killian
follow you.
Jaram
Sent me the thing. Yeah.
runs along cliff faces. Now, the other day we ran up these stairs in a gorge with Marlo, who's 11. We ran up because we were in a hurry and we wanted to get up there for sandwiches or whatever. And I was busted, and I'm pretty fit at the moment. I was so fit as I had been
Yeah.
running up one hill, and
Yeah.
I was wasted. This guy ran the Pyrenees
It's mental.
over 10 days. He ran across the top of the Pyrenees. Who does that shit?
It's crazy. Like the level of fitness, the level of fuck knows commitment and dedication is unbelievable. I did want to mention actually, I forgot to say it on the last poddy, talking about commitment and desire, but also nasty waves. Geroad, G-Man, Jerome,
Oh, the G-Man.
he released a clip a couple of weeks ago now that is hair raising. It is
Oh, it
very,
was
very, very good. Um,
incredible.
and it's weird. Now we had him on the poddy and I know him. He's so calm and like such a like level kind of guy and character. And then he does that. I'm just like, wow, like it's even more impressive. His edit is really, really good. Like I definitely recommend anyone to go check it out. I know it's on YouTube. If you want to check it out, it's called Roller Coaster.
Killian Jornet. I've seen his stuff before, haven't I?
Yes, 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 you have.
He's just a freak. And it's the best thing about watching these guys that it can inspire you back for your surfing and also
Yeah.
remind you that what you're doing isn't that serious. That surfing's one of the hardest sports there is, but it's not running across a mountain range. Even though my cousin said to me, don't go be too hard on yourself because these guys don't have a job. That's all they do. Obviously, he's a freak of nature, but like Nathan France, like what you said. Why would you
Yeah.
paddle out there?
But then,
See the
like,
waves he gets.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even paddle out. If someone said to me, paddle out, I guarantee you get waves, and I guarantee you'll be paddled back in injury free and fine. I still wouldn't paddle out. It's
Hey, so here's Florence machine. It's no longer Florence X, is it? It's just Florence.
just Florence,
Huh?
yeah,
How stoked are they that they got a world champ and right on the books,
yeah.
but now they've stopped for 5 months. But it doesn't matter to them because their other number one rider is still visible every 4 days.
Well, do you know
Where
what else is? Do you know what else is really cool about the Florence thing? Is John is with them at the moment. John's in Scotland with them right now.
oh right,
He's just been with
unreal.
Laura Crane and
Oh,
stuff.
it's just bailed on the baby. Good on him.
But I think that John probably won't paddle out of those slabs, like the ridiculous slabs, like the cave and stuff, because that is like they are.
Because he doesn't need the views.
Well, probably, and also he doesn't need the broken bones. But yeah, Florence have. I mean, we said it before, didn't we? And we just said it about Mikey Feb, and we run out of time, so I'll be quick. But if Nathan Florence had been dropped from his sponsors and said I'm available, the bidding war would have been crazy. Like everyone would want to sign Nathan Florence with his YouTube presence, with everything he's been doing for the last couple of years. Stab Surfer of the Year, Big Wave Surfer Surfer of the Year, X other awards, biggest like growth on YouTube, and
Beard of the year.
and Florence didn't even have to bid. Like it's like they signed him. Obviously, he's obviously on a good deal. Like there's no doubt about that. But it's like an incredible position for John to be in. Like you say, he's world champ, and he's probably just this year added the number one. Well, I'd say within the top three free surfers male in the world that any brand would have wanted to sign.
And meanwhile, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that aren't going to school with their parents so that they can be pro surfers, and they probably got no chance. But they can dream.
That's what it's all about. Dream
Because
big.
if you want to do the sport, you just got to keep doing it. And surfing's probably the most enjoyable sport that there is when the stars align. So let's hope some of them. I've got some waves coming. I hope you've got waves coming, Matty.
Waves
Thanks
are
for having
coming.
me. Au
Back
revoir.
soon. Au revoir.